the largest promoter of like Fringe now at the place. It's our 10th year this year. But that applies to us when we were tiny and we were working in the theatre to do small stuff. It applies to us now where we look a bit like a big conglomerate. We're not, we're still skin, but it's the, you know, it's that principle carries through. On that, I think as well, that's you know, the work I'm doing now with other plays is quite large scale. We can host quite big events coming through. I value on the Fringe something that's absolutely tiny on the other side of town that has an audience of 2. And I love seeing work where there's a small audience or someone who's, you know, aiming for 5 and gets 5 in. I think that's just as important as selling something that's 300 and sort of sells something. So having that diversity within your program is critical. It works slightly differently than MK in terms of brightest open access. So the Fringe is an organisation that goes, you can apply to be part of our festival, you can do whatever you want, we don't care, we're not judging you. What you need to do is pay some money for it and find a venue to perform it in. And the venue will either charge you or do a split with you on the door. We would fund yourself to go through. So it's very much open access, whereas here you're slightly different in that you have weighted towards you, it's beneficial. Yeah, support.
We're actually going to introduce open submission from next year.
Nice. I think what's great about open submissions, it speaks from the artist's heart comes through in terms of it reflects your city much clearer rather than the big organisations. So your theatres and your gallery spaces and your big institutions in MK are wonderful organisations with lots of people in them, but they're big ships. They move very slowly, they can't turn their program around very quickly. If you've got an artist with an idea and you want to stage something, you can do that, you can go and find a space in which to do that. Spaces are rooms like this, which are fantastic. They're cafes, they're sheds and shopping centres, they're all sorts of what you need to find and what you need to do. So I was going to talk about pop-up, another lovely picture. Marketing, just 5 things I've learned, and we can interrogate the questions afterwards. Again, Fringe skint, we don't have the money to go into big billboard campaigns and things like that, so I think it's about being intelligent with your marketing. The best marketing that you can do as artists, hand-to-hand, word of mouth, building communities, what you've got that's beneficial to you, you live here and you know these people. So, utilise your networks in order to get stuff across. The best shows, visiting companies who come to us at other place, quite often they come with a big marketing budget and just go, here's 300 quid, you know, send some posters out, flyers out, they sell really badly. Whereas a company comes up with no money, but they spend a week talking to people, selling the shows to them and flying them individually. That works. That builds your network. It also helps the festival, because people then talk about the festival, the buzz sort of grows up with it. We've got into guerrilla marketing. Brighton's quite a small city centre with far too much, lots of creative things happening all the time, so you're always fighting for space. So we commissioned a graffiti artist to go around and spray the exchange boxes that live on the street, do the telephone exchange. With our venue logo, we asked permission from the council, it was fine. But that was how we promoted our venue, and that's how we built it up across the city. So ideas like that. We had because our site moved from the church hall to an open air site in the city. We had a fence around the outside, which was very ugly, but necessary for security. So we then put a scrim on the outside of that, which is big posters on the outside of that, advertising all the shows inside and also very good inside of it. So those opportunities you can build on and grow on, right?
That's not on the slide,
That's
is it?
exactly it.
Let's swap that.
Is it handy?
So I'll put this
Dining.
in there, so now we open it. Mainly you can actually see it, that's the
Thank
side.
you.
So the PowerPoint is opening now, so you should see it.
Excellent. Thanks a lot.
It's probably free. This is highly authentic experience.
Yeah, it's embarrassing, isn't it? I came in and plugged it in and it all works, and that's just too confident. Your identity as a Fringe is critical. Use each other's. We carry logos on posters for our venue and for the Fringe in general, and so when there's Brighton's 750 events, everyone's got a pile of posters, everyone's got a pile of flyers. Really, you're selling the core festival to people, so you're selling the idea of the Fringe. You have quite a healthy relationship with your international festival here. We know. And yeah, it's nice, doesn't it? And I think when you the Fringe grows, it's very nice to start. And I'm not speaking of market festival, it's absolutely lovely. But the Fringe is the bigger festival right now, and the international festival doesn't like that very much. But it's not really in tune with what's happening, what people want to see straight away. They're planning 3-4 years ahead. And they're doing very fine, excellent international work. It's at 50 theatre, which in Brussels was a phenomenal opportunity to see so. But the Fringe is what's moving quicker and moving faster around it, and I kind of like that balance. It used to be the attitude that the Fringe is the work that isn't as good as the festival work, and that's really shifted in the last couple of years. So I think it's really good to keep that in your mind, to how you approach and sell your work, that it's different, you're agile, but sell your festival, be proud of your space, and host the party. I think it's an important one. The Fringe is kind of fun, more exciting place to be. So yeah, don't be too stuck in that. Make sure you've got the wine flowing. I love that there's wine here. I find that really to got. Great. Exactly.
It's not refreshing time yet.
Have we got it up? Oh, so done.
Do you want to go over it?
Slideshow, please.
So, I would have a pitch, so I'll just take you through it. It's a fine
We can take a bit of refreshing time or break time.
I can do it. It's just pictures, so it's alright. I'm sorry that didn't work, but you have to look at me instead of the wall. I just want to end on 5 points, really. Just sort of move down and maybe pitch good. And I'll show you the video of us building the venues. It's always sometimes never, sometimes always. My 5 notes for you, I guess, or my bits of advice from my experience of doing what I'm doing is that, and the reason this is all about disruption and this, the whole project you are involved in, with Fringe, MK Fringe, is about disrupting. So disrupt your environment, your communities. This art project, which is absolutely brilliant, is it can make people see the places they live in a completely different way. You are the only people who can do that. It's the artists and the producers and the venues who can really flip that around. So keep that in your heart. I don't. Have you got a nice local authority? They've got a nice So utilise that contact. You see, I'm sure you have to do whatever they want to do.
We have local authorities that are learning about how to engage with the arts. The International Festival Act is actually really helpful in breaking down barriers. Because they used to say, well, it's just on a road, on a highway, and they said, oh, pop in a car park. Just over there. And now they're going, okay, yes, just come off the road.
That's
so
it. You
yeah,
want to say how long do you want to shut the road for? I know you can shut road for 7 minutes without doing it. But it's a writing one, it's different. I mean, last year we had there is a picture of it somewhere of a wonderful Polish puppet company called Circus Without Violence. That's not bad. I'll flick through it, I'll show you. They were full-size, thank you so much. Full-size animals, puppet animals. Oh, here's the warren. This is Iggy Azalea, who's apparently famous. This is the new warren, so this is our site with the bar and the main space and the theatre box, which is a venue we made, especially this year at shipping containers, available for hire. This is the basement of the city venue. Let's see if we can switch through to the okay, so these guys arrived. They were a Polish puppet company. They were running in our garden for 8 days in the Warren Gardens, a sort of kid show. They arrived 2 days early unannounced at our load-in area behind the show. We had some serious Shakespeare going on in the house. And they sort of just rolled in with their van, didn't speak English and didn't have the guy that we'd sort of done all the deal with and we'd met before and sort of set up. So they just built their elephant and they go, now we've got to town. And I was like, oh, okay. So we had to emergency look out to them. There's a life-size elephant. We're going to bus lane. Really sorry. That's us. But that sort of disruption, I think, was just brilliant. And it is great that we rang Fringe immediately. The director of Fringe just went, so we're doing a bad thing. There's not a risk assessment, but there is an elephant currently walking down the street. He got the council involved. We sent volunteers to usher it straight away, and the council were very forgiving. But the power of the Fringe to have that conversation with the council and not get the police to shut us down was amazing. And it sold out 8 days of the street for 11 around town. So that's a top tip. Let's see. This is there was some words in it. So it's a marketing video. This is building the warrants we go through. I'll go back while that's in the background. Disrupt is key. Absolutely disrupt what you're doing. Disrupt your community. It's a very positive thing to disrupt. Know your community. I would gog at the idea of bringing what I do in Brighton and dumping it on some lawn in Milton Keynes, which is a Fringe festival. It's not going to work. I've seen it not work with very proficient and experienced people in Brighton who turn up with upside down purple cows and pop them on the green somewhere, bring their own programme. They're locals, they don't know what people want. So that's your strength. You know this city, you know this place, you know this area. So know your community. On the other side of that, reach beyond your community. It's a Fringe, it's a network. You're part of 200 around the world. There's Edinburgh just after you, starts the week after you, 2 weeks after you, 2 weeks after you. There's Fringes everywhere. Support your artists if you're that, and if you're an artist, be looking around